Hello and welcome back to Girlfriend Minute.
I'm Shar,
And I'm Pascal.
and today's topic is love. I asked a question on Facebook about love and what changed your feelings for someone you were once madly in love with.
That's a great
So
topic.
it's very broad, actually. So, Pascal, what
Yes.
changed your feelings for someone you were once madly in love with?
Well, well, I did have a previous relationship, and that relationship started off great, and it was wonderful. And he paid a lot of attention to me, and we did a lot of things together. And then slowly, after the years went by, and I will say, like, I've known this person since 2014, and it was just about maybe, I'd say, a year and a half. I think, is that when I told you that I was done? About a year and a half,
Yes,
maybe 2 years, something like that.
yes.
Um, so what changed for me was that he was hanging out with his friends a lot more than he would hang out with me. I would ask him to go places and come here and go there. And I would just repeatedly ask all the time. And I just got sick and tired of asking, because I'm not going to sit here and wait for someone if someone is not making the initiative to ask me to go somewhere. So why should I keep hounding or asking someone? That's one thing. Um, Another
You shouldn't want
thing,
to be made to feel like you're begging for attention. You're begging them
exactly,
to spend time with you. They either want to spend time with you or they prefer to do something else.
exactly. That's right. I mean, my time is already precious to me as it is, because, family comes into the structure of my household as well. So, um, time is very important to me. So if I'm making an attempt to spend time with you or I'm rearranging my schedule, I would think that you would want to make the same attempt. But it just seemed to me like he wasn't even bothering with that. He wasn't even doing that at all. It was
Yeah.
like I was waiting and waiting and waiting, and I'm like, oh well, forget this crap. I'm not waiting anymore. I'm not doing it.
And that's a harsh thing to come to terms with, too,
It
because
is
you've
definitely.
invested all this time in someone
Well,
and
and
years.
that's the thing. And that's the thing is I've invested so much time. Like I did, my goodness, I mean, I practically did everything for him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was like I was his wife.
Yeah.
So if I put in all the effort, I would think that he would make some kind of effort too as well, but
Yeah.
he wasn't. So, you know, I mean, that's a small thing. There's a lot of other big
Just,
things.
yeah, right.
That's a
There's a
small
lot of
thing.
big things.
Yeah,
Relationships
that's
are
to start with.
complicated. Yes. No, I get it. The relationships are complicated. They're very complicated. It's not just so easy. And I don't know. It's a
No,
lot of work.
unfortunately, it's not like the movies.
No,
Someday
it's
I
not.
I look at the movies and I'm like, why can't my relationship be like that?
I know, right?
Couldn't it have just written out like that?
Right. I keep waiting for Jamie from Outlander to show up.
Oh, yes, I know. Somebody,
Still
for
hopeful.
Christ's sake, come on now. Yeah, but
Yeah.
unfortunately, our lives are not like the movies. So there's
No, no.
ups
And
and
no one, I think,
downs.
explains that to you as a young girl growing up.
No.
Uh, you know, explaining the dynamics, all the levels, the depth of it all.
Oh, definitely. No
It's
one.
not just a fairy tale. The fairy tale does end. Real life kicks in. You're married, you have children, there's money, decisions to be made. Not everyone's always on the same page or even in the same chapter,
Right.
and it takes its
Well,
toll.
I mean, I wasn't married to this guy, so I could just get up and leave anytime I wanted to. So, I
Yes.
mean, that was one positive thing, you
Right,
know.
yes.
But the straw that broke the camel's back for me was the lies. And then um, there was, I don't know about cheating. Now, he swears up and down that he never did anything with anyone. But it was like every time I would ask him, what are you doing or what's going on? He would lie to me. And then I like, There was a couple of times everybody would hang out with each other, and there was this one particular female in the room, and then it would be like constantly, drinking with this female, and she would walk in, and then shortly, like a couple of minutes later, he would walk in, and then I kind of got like, what's like something's happening, what's going on, you
Yeah.
know? And then
Yeah.
I would ask him about it. I'm like, just tell me, like, it's better for me to know that it's coming from you rather than it coming
The
from like
third
somebody.
party. Yeah.
Exactly. So no, 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 swore up and down, nothing, and then wanted to turn around and make it my fault because I
Oh,
was asking him the question, and how dare I ask this
gaslighting.
critical question? Yes. How
Yes.
dare I ask?
Yeah.
Anyway,
Makes you
lo and
question yourself and causes you self-doubt.
exactly.
And then you start going, as you're laying in bed trying to fall asleep, well, am I imagining this?
Exactly.
But as you know, your intuition is
Yes.
usually pretty spot on.
Pretty much so. And at the time that I found out a lot of things, my mother was in the hospital, she was dying. So like, how dare you? Like,
Well, yeah.
I will never get that out of my mind.
No,
They say you forgive and you forget or whatever. And I think I didn't necessarily forgive, and I'm sure as hell not gonna forget.
right.
But um you just learn to deal with it and you move on, and hence why he's no longer my boyfriend. But you know
Kudos to you though, because that's not easy. The writing can
oh,
be on the wall and
you're
it's not
right.
easy. Many women stay because
it,
it's easier to stay,
it is easier to stay.
whether you're
I did
married or
that with,
not.
yes,
You
I
know,
did that
especially
with
when you're
my
married.
previous
Yeah.
guy. With my
Yeah.
previous guy before this one, I ended up just staying, and he ended up just, so culturally, I'll give you a little background. Culturally, like, we weren't brought up as to talk about these things. Your mom, your aunts, your whoever it is doesn't really talk about any of this information to you.
No.
um so you grow up not understanding anything, or having or knowing how to deal with a relationship, because you never had that. And the only
Yes.
relationship that you see, coming from a Middle Eastern background, the only relationship that you see is that, yes, you have a mom and a dad. They don't really hug in front of you, they don't show any emotions. They love you, okay? But it's like nobody talks about it. It's
Yeah.
like hush hush, you
Yeah.
know? So and
Yeah.
and they were taught to stay together no matter what. If
Yes.
he cheats or she cheats or whatever happens, no matter what, they don't get a divorce. It was very much frowned upon.
Yeah.
So that's culturally speaking, it's Lebanese background. So culturally speaking, this is what I grew up with. So to be honest, I don't really. Now I've learned a lot, because at my age, I've had multiple relationships. So I've learned a lot through those relationships. But how much pain does somebody have to go through
Yeah.
before they finally get to that point, you know?
Yeah. My mom never talked to me about relationships. I think she just wanted me taken care of. And honestly, I think she was just done being a mom. As horrible as that sounds, I was the youngest of the three, 9 and 12 years younger. And, she got out of the abusive marriage, verbally and physically abusive marriage with nothing. And back in the early 80s, she got nothing, and she didn't. I found out many things after I'd been married a few years. And she never talked to me about, stand on your own 2 feet, be your own person, don't depend on a man. This is what went on in our relationship. There was
Exactly.
never any conversations. Everything was a mystery. It was a secret.
Yes. Yes. That's
Yeah.
that's exactly how it kind of was. Even though we knew that our parents were there, it was just like they weren't,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was basically just learning through your friends,
Yeah.
or through your relationships, which probably
Relationships.
ended up in a disaster. So,
Life experiences
I don't know.
generally. Right? No,
Yeah.
they do. I know. I've always tried to lecture my children, especially my daughter. Does she listen to me? Well, does anyone's child listen to them?
No, no,
No.
no one's child
So
listens to
I
them.
always tried to be the opposite of how I was raised.
Yeah. Same
Yeah,
here.
I've always tried to be the opposite. So
Yeah, I've always told my daughter that she should stand up on her own 2 feet, make sure that she has the bank account, make sure that she's in charge, of her life, and make sure she's comfortable in her life before she starts any relationship with another person.
yes,
So, I mean, lucky for her, she ended up meeting her person in high school and, she went from there. But those are the things that, like you said, your parents didn't really ever talk to you about. But
no.
I chose to do the opposite, like you, and
Hmm.
talk to your kids.
Yep.
So,
I mean, there's no manual,
of course
but you got
not.
to have some kind of conversation,
Yeah, I
especially
agree.
in today's day and age.
Oh
Not to
my
sound
gosh,
like the
definitely in
typical,
today's day and age.
but definitely. So I tried. I did the best I could.
Yeah, it's okay. That's the only thing we can do as
That's all we
parents.
do as
Yeah,
parents.
we can
So
just be strive to be better than our parents. So,
I received several comments about lying and cheating um, on the question when I posted it on Facebook. And one thing that was interesting was a comment that was a little different than all the others was meddling of family members,
oh,
like the son not cutting the umbilical cord from mom,
yes.
vice versa. Mom having to be involved in everything
Yeah,
and
that's
anything. That's huge. Three is a crowd in a relationship.
absolutely 100%.
Yep. Three is a crowd. So I thought that was kind of a important one to touch on. I think that many wives feel like sometimes the other family members are too involved. I don't do the whole everyone's involved in this decision thing.
Right.
you know,
That's a good thing. Yeah.
it becomes a bit much and overwhelming. It's the decision may be hard enough as it is, or it may not be, but it doesn't require to me, it becomes drama. And I have no patience for drama. Three's a crowd.
Yeah, exactly. I don't blame you. I don't like drama either. I don't get into it. So the thing is though, let's say let's just play on the male version right now, okay, since we're both females here. So three's a crowd, you said, and who's to say that this male isn't going back to, let's say, his parents or his mom or his dad or whoever, and that's where the meddling starts coming in, because they're going
Yeah.
to come in and they're going to defend their
Child.
child. Yeah.
Yep. And I think that's what this person was kind of, she didn't leave any further details. It just said, that and, basically, um, I said agreed, and specifically mother-in-laws that can't cut the cord.
Yes, exactly.
And so, yes, it's hard to set those boundaries. And then if he's not someone who's willing to stand up and set boundaries with his family, then he's like, you're putting me in the middle. It's like, but no, you got married. And when you get married, the boundaries change and the dynamics of the relationship change.
Of course, you
You're not
start your
married
own
to your
family.
mother, she's your mother.
Yes. Yes, you have your own family now, or your own
Yeah.
family that you're about to start. That's the whole reason why people get married,
Yep.
you know?
You found the one person you want to be with and have experiences with, good or bad, and have babies or don't have babies, whatever it is. But you found this person, and I don't understand how a grown person can allow their parents to come in and have a say in the relationship.
It's because that parent has probably run this person's life, their whole entire living. Like, do this, do that. I do your clothes. I feed you. I do this. Now you have to listen to me. And that child, I guess, might feel as though if I don't listen to my mom or not cut the umbilical cord, as you said, then what kind of a relationship would I have with my parent? but they've never tried it. But at the same time, I get what you're saying, because once you marry that person that you absolutely fell in love with, or you
Mhm.
are going to be with to start this family, you should cut that cord and dedicate your life to that person then. And then it's not, that doesn't mean you don't love your parent. It doesn't mean that you've pushed that parent to the side. It just means you're grown up now. Grow up.
The dynamics of the relationship have changed.
Yeah.
You don't have to go to mom to
No.
help talk through big decisions. Is why you have a wife.
Exactly.
And you have to go to the wife because you married her and because you're living together and she's supposed to be on the same page as you.
That's right. You're
You
supposed to
know,
be one. You're
you're
supposed to be
supposed to be,
united.
you're supposed to be one. And I find saying that too a little bit of a contradiction, because while you're one, we as women know, we're also very much individuals.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so it's kind of a fine line, walking a fine line. A lot of people commented on narcissism,
Yeah, that's a big thing too.
gaslighting, and narcissism.
Yeah, very selfish in a relationship. Some people can be. And it's
Yeah,
all about me and they can do no wrong.
and I didn't say that, or I didn't
Yeah.
do that, or
Yeah. Yeah,
putting
there it's
themselves
I had
first.
that in my relationship with that guy. The same thing. It was always
Mhm,
turning the blame and putting it on me. He could never do anything wrong, God forbid. And if
mhm.
I would tell him, "Oh, you're disrespecting me," he said, "How? How? Oh, I'm sorry. How am I disrespecting you?" Yeah, let me tell you how you're disrespecting me. But to
Yeah.
him in his head, he really honestly didn't think that he was disrespecting me. But he was talking to other women, doing things behind my back, lying to me to my face. That's all disrespect.
Young girls especially realize it or not.
I don't think they do. I think you make a point with that, because a lot of young females nowadays, because of social media and all of that stuff, have been not out into the social world. So they don't really know how relationships work. The only relationships they know is by social media, a lot of them nowadays.
Right.
And
Well, a
then,
lot of competition on social media too.
oh, definitely, definitely. And then there's your other young girls, like I said, being Middle Eastern is a little bit different. So a lot of the young girls in their 20s look for men who have money. So whether they are disrespected or not disrespected, I don't really think that they care. I just think that they care of like how much money they can obtain from this person. There's no love anymore anyway.
No, it's all materialistic. There's a lot of, you know, and I'm sure some people be like, that's not me. I'm offended. We're not talking about you or anyone specific or anything like that. We're just talking about what, I observed and
Yeah,
see.
just in general, just from my perspective and your perspective.
I
That's
was watching a friend on Facebook tonight, and his family and them are on vacation. And they have young children, and him and his wife, and the kids are jumping up and down, like, look at me, right in front of them. Kids do pay attention to me, and they're both, each parent was on their phone texting.
yeah, they're oblivious.
So here you are on this wonderful family vacation, and the little girl and little boy are, pay attention to me, pay attention to me. They're both seeking attention. And I think girls don't seek it from the right people sometimes,
No, they sure don't. You're right.
you know.
Absolutely. So yeah, that's where you draw the fine line about disrespect. You just don't know. You
No.
just don't know. Well, and
And
like you said, I'm only giving the perspective, from what has come to play in my life. I'm not giving the perspective of every Middle Eastern girl, or I'm saying every one of them wants or needs money or is, a gold digger or
yeah,
whatever. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying from my view, this is what I've seen. Whatever's
yeah.
entered in my life, this is what I've seen. That's all.
Well, and also based on conversations you have, I know for me, I listen to what some of these girls say to me, and I just think, wow, I was at a gathering once, and there was this girl, and she's younger than us, and she was telling another mutual friend, we need to get together. I haven't seen you. So and so and I broke up. And I mean, we officially broke up because we're not even friends on Facebook anymore. And I was just standing there
Oh, you see?
going, really?
They base
And
their
she
relationship on a
has,
Facebook.
you know,
Like,
teenage daughters. She has teenage daughters. So this is what she's passing on. It's
yeah.
official because not because we're not talking to each other anymore. Or I've changed the locks on the doors or anything like that. It's we're no longer friends on Facebook.
No,
And
because
I'm
they
trying to figure
blocked
out,
me.
when did that become right? When did that become the gauge,
Exactly. That's what I mean. Yeah.
for
Like that's how you,
relationships?
yep.
I mean, young kids obviously are going to use it as that, but there are some, I mean, she was an adult with teenage children. Come on.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I'm just standing there going,
It's
really? You're
all
no longer,
petty. Some of
it's
it's
all
like all
petty.
petty. Yeah, it's
It's
all
all
petty
petty.
stuff.
But I was curious what made people fall out of love nowadays with someone they were madly in love with. And I don't know, I always see people posting and blaming social media. And I disagree with that in the sense that there's someone on that other side on the keyboard typing and posting,
Correct.
and now because of social media, they're able to put themselves out there in different ways or in more ways or on more platforms and
Yes,
show
definitely.
everybody how they truly can be or how they are. But,
Well,
I
yeah,
just
because
find,
you're hiding behind a computer. Nobody could see you. So you
yeah,
can portray yourself as anyone.
so I
Become,
think as a female, it would make dating and getting to know someone and see if someone's honest difficult. And I know that's a two-way road. I know there's men with horror stories of women too, and I know that. And I'm not saying that doesn't happen or it doesn't exist, but I wanted to start this podcast because I wanted women to have a place to have like what we're doing, an organic conversation. Natural, just kind of flows. We're able to just kind of give our thoughts and our feelings and our opinions. We're not therapists. We're not licensed in any way. We're
exactly.
not crazy. We both have interesting upbringings and childhoods and experiences that got us to where we are today.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So,
And don't
it's
worry, guys. You'll know our backgrounds shortly. Don't worry.
so and that's what I was wanting to do because I talk to a lot of women. I work with a lot of women all day long, as I'm sure you do too. And it's just interesting.
It
I
is
don't
very
know.
interesting. And
It's
I
very
like
interesting.
you brought up a good point there too. It's not just on the woman's side. It does work also on the man's side as well because I've heard a lot of men that I've befriended in these past couple of years or whatever, between working at different jobs that I've had, and I've heard them, speak about their relationships as well. And the
Mhm.
way we're talking about the relationship now, being women, talking about it, through a woman's perspective,
Well, yeah,
the man also basically would say the same thing, and but in a different perspective where they're more afraid of befriending someone or getting to know someone and then they're only after their money.
I agree. I agree. And it's hard to find that true person, no matter male or female.
It is.
It's hard to find that true person. Um, I know for me, I have to be able to look at myself in the mirror every day. I have to be able to sleep
Absolutely.
well at night,
That's true.
and sometimes I'm too brutally honest. You either love it or you don't. That's just
Well,
life,
yeah.
and I have a few really great close girlfriends, you being one of them, and a few others, and we're all kind of the same. We're all kind of like-minded in the sense that we're honest and we don't want to play games, and
Yeah, you
we
get
just
to
want
a
to enjoy
certain
this
point.
ride. I mean,
Well, you get to a certain point in your life where you want to enjoy the companionship. You don't want to have the drama with the companionship. That was already done ages ago. Let's say,
yeah,
even if you did have that, your little drama. And everybody goes through that little drama, whether you're married or not married in the beginning. and then you learn each other slowly as the years progress, you know. um so yeah, I mean, I
I
don't
do
know.
believe too, in relationships, you either grow together or you grow apart.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, you
That's
have to be, it's a fine line. You have to be your individual self, but you also have to be a couple.
You do, and that's where communication comes into it a lot. If you don't communicate properly with your significant other,
Mhm.
it's going to be a very difficult relationship. You know, you have to be able to open up. You have to be able to basically put your heart on your shoulder so that people can, or a heart on your sleeve. I don't know.
Mhm.
You
Yes.
know, I don't know. I'm not good with all these sayings or anything. But you got to put yourself out there, and the person that you chose has to be able to accept you with everything the same way you accept them with everything that they have, faults, no faults, happiness, joy, you know, crying moments, fighting moments, whatever the moments are.
Mhm.
So it's difficult, but some people just, I feel that they cannot open up to their significant other. I had a hard time opening up to my ex, you know. Every time I would try to show him some kind of emotion, or feel like I can trust him by saying something significant to him that maybe no one else knows, you know, it was just like I felt like he wasn't even listening.
Well, and it's hard to have those honest conversations too, or to open up, because you don't want to be rejected,
Right.
or made to feel like your feelings don't matter. They do matter, no matter how big or small, they matter. You want
Well, he made me feel
validation.
rejected just for the fact that he didn't even, I didn't even see him like actively listening to me, or
Yeah,
even, you know, you just feel rejected right off the door, right out the door.
yeah,
So,
yeah. No, or their listening skills are a little different than yours.
yeah, it
You say
is.
one thing and they heard, and it gets a little twisted. It's like, no, no.
Yeah, I didn't say
That is
that.
not what I said. Because if I
Yeah.
wanted to say that, that one word can be a big difference. And it's not nitpicking. It's sometimes there's a big difference. It
Yeah.
means something entirely different. So, listening is an important skill
Yeah,
in,
definitely.
in
And
anything.
I think a lot of people too get comfortable in their relationships where even if your feelings have changed about that person, you're just in this comfortable niche that on a day-to-day schedule, you know, you just come home. Let's say even if you,
It's easy.
it is, it's easy. That's right.
It becomes easy. It's comfortable. For women, it becomes easy and comfortable, scary to leave and go out on their own, no matter if they're married or not. It's scary to leave. You're used, there's a security
There is,
in
yes.
the routine, and or if it's financial. I mean,
Yes.
it's
Or the
easy. There's a
kids.
security, or kids, young kids, and you want to finish raising them together and stuff. I mean, ultimately, I am responsible for all of my choices.
That's right.
Ultimately, you are responsible for all yours.
Yep.
Ultimately, whoever else is responsible for theirs as well. So, for women, I know for me, I want to be validated. I know I want to be heard, and that they at least understand. They don't have to agree, but they understand what I am saying.
Well, and that's the key point, and that's what I think a lot of men don't understand. You don't have to agree with what we're saying. You just
Yes.
have to be like, okay, I hear you. I
Yes.
understand where you're coming from. If you agree, that's wonderful. You know, whatever. That makes things smoother. If you don't agree, it doesn't mean that an argument has to come out of it. It just
No.
means let's find a way together to either resolve the issue, fix the situation, or whatever thing that it can, you know, that comes up in the relationship.
I mean,
So
some people don't mind the fighting and stuff, but to me, it brings more negativity to the relationship.
I agree. I'm not one
I
of those.
rather not fight, but boy, when that switch gets flipped, I'm not a happy camper. It's not pretty, but yeah, I mean, and we all have those switches. So,
Well, we
yeah,
also have instigators too that like
we
to flip
we
those switches.
we do, we definitely do. It's not easy. And I just wanted to create a safe place for women to talk and do this.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, hopefully our listeners here will get a chance to listen to what we have to say, and I'm sure they will recognize some of them, with each of our different lives that we live, and the experiences that we have or have had previously. And then, maybe some of them can open up, leave some comments, let us know what you guys are
Yes.
thinking.
You can find us on Facebook, Girlfriend Minute. We don't have the Instagram or any of that other stuff set up yet. Working on it, but
Yep.
you know,
It's a work in
Facebook is
progress.
there. It's a work
Yep,
in
work in
progress. Facebook is
progress.
there, and you can ask us anything, and we will be honest.
Definitely.
You know,
Some of you may not like it, but it's okay. We're here to listen. We're actively listening.
right. We are actively listening. That's true.
Yes.
That is true.
But we won't be brutal, don't worry. It'll be an honesty to maybe open your eyes a little bit, to some certain things. And if not, you just listen. Just have a good time with us. That's
Yes.
what we're here for.
Have a good time. Reach out to one another, support one another. I think there's so many women who feel alone and unsupported in certain situations. I hear it all the time.
Yes.
Working in the medical field, I hear stuff, and I feel
That's
bad for them.
that's because
You
women
know,
are so catty sometimes, and that's why they
there's a
don't
lot
speak
of
up.
catty women, and I
Yeah.
don't hang out with catty women. I can't
No.
do it. But they don't have a Pascal to listen when you're like in the middle of the night going, I don't know.
I know. And they don't have a Shar either to listen when I'm telling him about my restaurant stuff. You're like, oh my God, I know she's sick and tired of hearing it.
No,
But
no, it
regardless,
involves
he's still
food. It's
actively
all
listening.
good.
Yeah, I appreciate that a lot. So
Well, and ditto.
good to know
And
that another woman has your back in any circumstance, and any time that you need them, day or night. You
well,
know.
absolutely. We've been friends a long time.
Oh my gosh, yes. You
Yeah.
were so just a little history between me and Shar here. So, um, I actually was born in Beirut, Lebanon, and I came to the United States when I was about 5.5 years old. We moved to Harrisburg, Pennsylvania for a little while, about 2 years, I would say. And then after 2 years, and this was in the early 80s, mind you, after 2 years, I moved down to Florida, where I met this lovely little girl at the time who I like still remembered until like forever. And it was I had no friends, of course, because I was entering a school that I didn't know anybody with, and a lot of the kids that went there already had gone through school since kindergarten, so they kind of basically knew each other. And we were entering the third grade, right? I was
We were
entering the
entering
third
the
grade.
third. We were third grade. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So she came up to me and befriended me. She said hello, and my name is Charmaine, and she went through all of that, and then we became friends since then. 9 years
And
old. 9 years
yeah,
old. It's
and
a long time to know someone.
yeah, and
Yeah.
we both give you a little more history. Just recently turned the big 50.
Yes. Yes, we
Do the math.
did. So it's a long time. Our friendship has lasted a long time. I mean, when you get to high school, people go into different directions, in which we went into different directions. I was in the orchestra. Shar basically stayed with the band. So that those were different entities in themselves.
They were.
Um, Although they gathered together once in a while to do like a show or something like that, but they were completely opposites of each other. So, um, and we had our own friends, but lo and
Because of the groups we were in, though, too,
yeah,
it totally
definitely.
changes. They become little families, and it changes the dynamics of other relationships you have.
They do, definitely. But I was so excited when, how many years ago? Five, hold on. to 6 years
Six,
ago, right?
seven-ish, 6 to 7.
I think 7. Yeah, 6 to 7 years ago, I get this message on my Facebook. Like, she's like, "Are you the Pascal that was in Largo High School?" And I'm like, "I am." And then I
Not that
happen to
there's
look.
many Pascals around, but
No, there.
still, you never know.
So then I was like, I was very elated actually that you even looked me up to get back together to start speaking again, which was awesome. It was so
I had always
awesome.
wondered what happened to you after high school, and I did post it to Facebook, and everyone was like, "I remember Pascal. I remember Pascal." I'm like, "Where is she?" And everyone's like, "I don't know."
Yeah. Well, I ended up after high school, ended up moving back to Pennsylvania. All of my families, my cousins and my aunts and my uncles, they were all over here on my mother's side. So we decided to come back up here so that my mother can be closer to her mom at the time, because she was still living at the time. So, um, and that's what happened. I've been up here ever since 91. So, but I
Now
was
the
very
key,
excited that you got in touch with me. And
and then the trooper that you are, you met me after all these years in New York City
I
for
know.
5 days with my
Yes.
cousin
How
and your friend
wonderful was that
Avery that you
trip,
brought.
though?
That was a lot of fun. That
How
was a lot of fun.
wonderful was
We were able
that
to do
trip?
some things together and all that. It was a lot of fun.
I mean, I swear, me and you, we walked like 20,000 miles just in New York City.
I
Or
think we
steps.
did.
I don't want to say miles, steps. I'm sorry.
Steps. It was over
20,000
20,000
steps.
steps because I checked
Yes.
my Apple Watch every day and it was like
Yeah.
22,000, twenty-one
Yes.
thousand. It was always over 20,000 steps every day. It was great though. And you took us to the best restaurants ever.
It was a
You
lot
know,
of fun.
it's just, it really was a lot of fun. And Holly had a great time. We all enjoyed the time and the
We got
food
to go
and
to
got to
Texas
meet
next time
Ellen,
for
who's very
sure.
special to me. She came over from Connecticut for the day to see me. She's
Yes.
like a mother, ironically, same name as my mom, but I love Ellen, and
She was a
that was the
great
last time I saw
person.
her. We still chat, but I haven't seen her since. But it was a good time, and you're such a trooper. And you met me after all those years in New York City, and I remember walking down the busy city with my cousin, and I hear Charmaine. I'm like,
Oh my God, that was like out of the blue. Like I was hauling my suitcase and I'm like, wait a minute. Wait, there she is. She looks familiar. And I'm like, she's not going to hear me with all these people running around.
I mean, you're in the middle of, I was near Times Square, and it's just,
Yeah.
a million people, and I
Yeah.
hear my name being called, and it
The
was just
cars, the hustle and bustle.
the
I was
hustle and
like, it's
bustle. That's
okay.
why
I'll
I
be
like it.
loud. I'll be loud. It's okay.
I love the hustle and bustle of the city, though.
I do too. It
I
was
do.
a great time. Yeah. We went everywhere. We had a lot of fun.
We did have a
Definitely
lot of fun.
memorable. Yes.
Definitely memorable.
Yeah.
So, for anyone who is listening or tuning in for the first time, and we are new to this, so grow with us, give us time to get better at this. But find us on Facebook, ask questions, leave comments. Let's get
Yes,
some
please do.
conversation going.
Yeah, tell us what you guys want to hear. We're here for you. We're here listening. And if you want to talk about anything, just let us know and we will make that the next, well, maybe not the next, but the next
Depending.
topic. Yeah.
But we
So
will definitely talk about it. We will jot
definitely.
it
Yep.
down.
Yep.
I'm
Whenever
keeping
the
notes in
next
a book,
podcast. Definitely.
and things that friends have told me. So, we're going to touch base on a bunch of topics over time, and they may be fun, they may be serious, they may be silly.
Yeah, and we'll talk about ourselves every once in a while. Let you
So
guys
you
know a
get to
little bit
know
of our
us.
history. Yeah, so you get to know us.
So
And
Pascal's in Pennsylvania, Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, and
yes.
I'm in Seminole, Florida.
Yep. And I went to go see
And you did. You came down this a few months ago. Gosh, you came down in June, and it's
I haven't
September.
been to Florida since I think my daughter was 8 years old and she's 30 now. So, yes,
Yes,
that's a
and I was so
long
happy you
time.
came and you did the photo shoot, because that's, once in a lifetime you turn 50. If we hit the next 50, the photo shoot will be very different.
Yes, it will be. I don't know if I'll be able to walk by then.
Maybe in
But you
scooters,
never
but
know. Yeah, well,
You
you
never,
never know. You
you
never
never
know.
know. You never
I have
know. You never
robots
know.
by then picking us up and carrying us everywhere.
Oh my gosh, I find that mortifying.
I know.
But we just need to get you to open that Lebanese restaurant here in St. Pete.
Oh, definitely. Yes.
So
I
you can
can't
teach me
wait.
to roll the grape leaves and earn my keep.
You got it. My grape leaf roller. I already have you down every other
I,
week, okay?
I got it. I will be there. You come down here and you open a restaurant. I will, you just have to, give me some lessons
Yeah, that's
and
okay. We'll pick it
I'm
up.
good to go. I'm
Oh,
good. There'll be my pile, don't forget, but it's all
absolutely.
good.
Absolutely. It's okay. We'll get you a small little pot. This is for me. This is for the restaurant. This is for me. This is for the
Two for
restaurant.
me, one for you.
Yeah, no, I have a restaurant in Camp Hill, Pennsylvania, and I when I went down to go visit Shar, I wanted to take our other friends along with Shar to like a traditional, Middle Eastern Lebanese restaurant. So we found one, and I'm not going to say the name, but we found one. And so when we went there and everything, I just was so surprised that it's more like Americanized rather than it being more traditional or more authentic. So it gave me the idea to be like, hey, I'm going to come down and open one. Why not? Right? You only live
Right.
once.
You do.
I don't know
No.
what I'm doing at my age, though, to be honest with you. Like, I would have figured by now I should be just like, I don't know, just living my best life, But maybe this is my best life. I don't.
It might be. I think we all figured that. I definitely have a different picture of where I would be right now than where I really am. It's definitely, and I'm trying to throw myself back in there and do the things that I miss that I grew up doing as a child. That they were escapes and rescues and great adventures, and I miss all of that. I don't want to say that necessarily that's my old life, but it kind of was. And I'm getting back to it and getting back out on the water. And I had a patient recently tell me, he's like, you just need to go get recertified in scuba diving. And but I'm like, I don't have any dive buddies anymore. you know?
Yeah, I
you
mean, if I was
know,
down there, I probably would love to do that. That was something on
it's
my
it's
list
just
to do.
another world. I mean, I've only ever been down. I don't really dive out here where I live. There's no live reefs. Uh, it's not like going to Bonaire or Cayman or even the Keys.
Right.
Bonaire is definitely my favorite place. It's absolutely
Yeah,
beautiful
but it's nice to have. You
underwater.
never know when you're going to go to those places. You can that way.
But you really need to use it every year to keep it active and to stay up to date on the technology. And it's definitely
Well, there
changed
you
in the
go.
20 years since I dove. So,
Well, there you go.
a
That's a
reason to
trip
book a trip
every
every
year to
year.
use
Yeah,
it.
I'm gonna have to
Yes,
post make a Facebook page looking for dive buddies.
there you go. I'm sure that I'm sure they have
There's
immediately.
probably is one. I should probably
Yes,
search.
I'm
I
sure
should
there is.
probably search. So
I'm sure
yeah,
there
so
is.
this was a lot of fun for our first topic, which was love. And again, please find us on Facebook.
Yes, and if you have any comments about your relationships, go ahead and leave them. And we
We will talk
review.
about them. We
Yep,
will
we
talk
will
about them.
review
We will
all the
touch base,
comments
and we will
and
communicate
talk.
with you online. And because
Definitely.
it's a big topic. It's a big topic. It's by
It
no means this little topic in a little box neatly put away. It's just
no,
not.
like you said in the beginning, it's a very broad topic.
It is.
So it's for anyone and whoever wants to get anything off their chest. Yes, please do leave comments. Let us know.
And yep, and obviously, well, I guess if you're on Facebook, you have to, well, it's your name, but we will not say your name.
Yeah, we will not. No, we'll
We
keep you
will not say you.
private.
You will keep
Yep.
you
I mean,
private.
unless you want us to, that's up to you. But for the most part, everything is private. Um, and yeah, and that's it, I think.
That's it.
I think this is a great podcast that you've created. Thank you so much for including
Thank
me.
you for jumping on board and being the adventurous person that you are. I need you here.
No, I'm coming. Don't worry, I'm coming. I
you
can't
know,
promise it'll be tomorrow, but I'll be there. All right.
well, it doesn't have to be tomorrow. I just need to know
Yeah.
that you're
It's in
coming.
the works. It's in the works. Yep.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
And of course, I'm always here. You need anything.
Yeah. Same.
Want me to go tour a restaurant, put you on the camera? I'm game.
Oh, I
Let's
might
go.
have to. Yeah, I might have to have you do that. So
I'm game. I'm
might be
game
sooner
whenever
than
you are.
later. Who knows? So
Okay.
to
Just
listen.
let me know. You
Yep.
know how to reach me.
Yeah. And thank you guys for listening. It has been a
Yes.
pleasure. And tune in next time for our next podcast and our next Girlfriend Minute.
Yes. Thank you and have a great night.
Bye, guys.
Bye.